All right, he has to put in his password. Don't look, don't. Like this. Oh, there's no web. That's fine, just pull a notepad, I can do it there. I've typed things before. Yes, I've seen this app.
Ladies and gentlemen, PAX!
$36, I think will be fine. There's children in the audience. All right. It's one word. There you go. You might just capitalize. Then proper noun. Okay, since this is the first time we've done it here, let me explain the basic process. It's very much like a regular Q&A, except it's just with me while my cohort entertains you with his comic stylings. So in order for the Q&A portion to function appropriately, according to specifications, I will require questions. And that is why these microphones have been set up in the aisles. So if there is anything, and I mean anything, you would like to know about anything, please line up, and I will tell you what is on my mind. A brave soul, a new challenger approaches. Hello, welcome to PAX Australia.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
In the comic that you're about to draw, does a drop bear steal the gold watch?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, let's do it. He has to have it like on his little paw. But it should be like a Rolex, like the big face one. All right.
Yeah, any word on the New Kid movie? And also the world needs an animated Lookouts movie.
Yes, I agree. I agree on both counts. So what happens, so we were under the impression that if someone, what is it called, the license?
Option.
Yes, it's called an option. So we were under the impression that getting an option to someone's concept was connected in some way to them making a movie based about that concept. And so there's been a process of education on our part where we learned that that's something that they do for fun. And they have to pay for it, so they are welcome to do it as much as they like. Option it, unoption it, option it a second time. I'm 100% supportive of that process, but it's basically, it's like folding your idea up into a paper airplane and then just throwing it off of a dock. Like, we have no idea what is happening with that. And we don't even know how we would find out. It's pure, it's necromancy. We have no idea. As far as the Lookouts animated thing, like, I think that, I mean, I won't be satisfied until you can get the Lookouts meal. You know, like, and it's got little trinkets and badges inside there along with the McNuggets, obviously. The badge itself is not edible, please don't. But that's more or less the plan. Like, we think that it's really, really cool. We just, whenever we have 5 minutes to rub together, it's usually something that we invest into Lookouts. And so we're gonna continue to push that as hard as we can. Thanks.
G'day, real quick one. Favorite video game ever?
Ever?
Ever.
Favorite video game ever? Jeez, man.
I have a couple. I think that I still have a very fond memory of Kingdom Hearts 2. I love that one. Woo Rez is right there at the top of my list. I also really loved Ni no Kuni.
That was great. Yeah, that was really good.
Gosh. Yeah, I mean, as far as the... Oh no, actually it's not that hard. I'm sorry, I just had to like flip through it until I found it. It's Planescape Torment, like without a...
You seen the Kickstarter for the second one?
What was that?
Tides of Numenaria?
Oh yeah, that got kicked.
Yeah, I'm kicking
I
that.
kicked the shit out of that. No, because a lot of times, and this is, I would say that this is the great problem that I have to manage in my life, is that if I'm playing a video game, I can't read a book. Not at the same time. And then if I'm reading a book, I'm not able to interact with it in any way, except for the page turning, which is a pretty low level, right? And Planescape Torment is basically a book that you play. Like, I like The Witcher for the same reason. I think that the Witcher games sort of pick up that mantle of trying to simulate not just a world, like a place, but all the individual people and the way that the people in that world interact. I think that they're both, even though Planescape Torment like takes place in like an alternate dimension, and some people are just on fire all the time and that's their deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was still so believable because the characters were so well drawn. And I think that Witcher takes up that mantle really well.
Nice one. Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Probably just a bit of a serious one. If you two had never met, where do you think you would see yourself today?
Happy.
Probably more, where would you see your writing skills have gone?
I would not have been able to write. The other happy thing was a joke, obviously. Mostly. 60%. The other life, the other lives that we had, and it's not hard to figure them out, like, because we had them and we did them, and we did Penny Arcade, in any place that those lives would allow us to do it. So he was selling computers, And then he was reading through like the management manual so that he would be able to, help operate a retail electronics store. I was doing IT, fixing computer stuff for a school district, and that's where I would be. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, and I never would have met you, right? I mean, this is better, I think, for everybody.
No doubt, just...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it would have broken down. Management, retail management?
Yeah, retail management.
Maybe sell some insurance? Yeah, this is an improvement.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Australia.
I love it here. So moist. You're my scales. I need that moisture.
Visit Brisbane sometime. You'll get moist for about half the year.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
It's good fun.
Sometimes it doesn't rain here and I get agitated.
PAX has been good fun so far, and it's awesome to have you guys here, but I'm a little bit disappointed. When you get back to America and back to the office, would you be able to give Scott Kurtz, Chris Straub, and Will Wheaton a smack on the back of the head for me?
Yeah. You know,
Australia's not happy.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, because
sorry, a little bit of Australianism. Not happy Jan? Anyone?
But a lot of people have talked to me about a couple things. It seems like people in Australia really like Strip Search. Is that accurate? I mean, I like it too, but a lot of people have talked to me. People have talked to me about Strip Search more than they talked to me about Penny Arcade, and that's fine. I liked it too. But people have also they really like the D&D podcasts too. Most of the conversations I'm having with people are about those things. And I mean, the main reason that we weren't able to bring Scott and Chris, or Chris and Scott, as you like, is that they're actually at Comic-Con. And I'm not sure that PAX Australia will be at this particular week. Like going into the future. Like I think it might move to a different time. And that would allow us to bring those guys. And I think Will's pretty busy with his con schedule and his stuff. But I mean, I could put a word in. But my fantasy would be to do something like the live D&D, get a campaign here and do it up, do it right. Oh, I see, because we've been in this crazy sort of, nega dimension. Not in Australia. But we've been in a weird place in terms of time and how things hook up to the way things are back home. But they just announced that Patrick Rothfuss is our new employee at Acquisitions Incorporated. So there's going to be a podcast that sort of introduces his character and leads into a live game that we'll stream over the interweb.
I hope you fight some drop bears.
Yeah. Dire drop bears. Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Have you been to I Love Zoo yet? And what is a tail job?
A tail? A lot of times we will come up with a term, like, here, so I'll give you two examples. I don't know what the tail job would involve. Like, I don't know what part, I don't know if you're doing something to the tail, or if, they're using the tail in some way. Is it prehensile? Like, there's a lot of questions about the tail that we can ask. But sometimes we'll just put together a term like that, and then invariably what you would come up with is way worse than anything we could come up with. And so we purposely don't define it, like ham doctor. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know what it is, but when you hear it, you feel something like in your spine, something gross, and you try to shake it out. So those are terms that we collaborate on to deliver their dark payload.
Good show.
Thanks.
Hi, I wanted to know, on the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness, you have two very different game styles, and I wanted to know what you thought were the advantages of each.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness has 4 games in it. 2 games done in one style that we did with Hothead, and then 2 games that we did with Z-Boy Games, which is a 2-man crew that I had a really good time working with. So the advantage of the first one is that it is in 3D and it looks pretty cool most of the time. And the advantage of the second one is that you might actually make some money. That's the main. I would say that's the main distinction. I mean, in terms of my involvement, my involvement on both was actually very similar. Like, I mean, writing a video game is basically being given an infinite spreadsheet and then trying to fill in as many of the boxes as you can. This is the mini game for me. That's the Precipice game I play. I try to fill in as many of those as I can before the game launches, right? So for me, it was very, very similar. But the difference between working with the smaller team is that you can react to things pretty quickly, and then you can put in things that you really want to put in just because. Like, in the third game, the Gabriel character gets obsessed with the game's villain. He thinks that the game's villain is the best person, and he wants to do everything he can to emulate Dr. Raven Dark Talon Blood. And so he decides to make a cape at home and wear this cape because it's so great. And you can do that in a pixel very easily. Like, you can do that on a little sprite. But if you tried to do that in a 3D game, like, that's a conversation that you have to have for weeks about whether or not it's worth it. So if you're trying to tell jokes, and some of those jokes require like a visual component, you can get to those things much quicker and faster. Like, it's not even a conversation. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll draw a cape a couple different times from a couple different angles, and now you have a cape. You know what I mean? There's no wrestling involved about whether or not the cape is an appropriate investment. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed working with this small crew just because we could move fast.
Cool. Well, we enjoy playing the game, so thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, I want to continue on the strip search theme.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we would ever get a chance to see you two going up against other webcomic artists in the elimination style.
Well, that would be great. But it would be a little bit unfair because
We're so rad.
no, that's not why. It's because part of the reason that we didn't work that into this season of the show is because, like, having two people be able to work together, like, on this script and bounce ideas off each other, like, that would be really, really unfair, right? But I guess we could do it. It'd be like a boss battle or something, right? Like Iron Chef. Like, maybe it would still work. I'm not sure. But there's so many shapes that the show could take. Like, especially if we worked on writer-artist teams instead. Like, the actual show that Strip Search can do, there's a lot of shows in that idea. And I think we're trying to figure out what the next shape would be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you going?
Hey there.
What mistake would you recommend all comics creators make that you made?
Oh man.
Keep going when you should obviously stop.
Yeah. When the palm of the universe is literally trying to crush you, you know, that would be a good time to do something else. And as long as you are dumb enough, you know, you can keep pushing for this other type of thing. Like, it is still shocking to me that the two young men that just could not see the signs, right? I think Ron talked about this a lot, that when they made Maniac Mansion, they didn't know what they didn't know, right? So I would start early. Start early before you know what's actually possible, and it'll be very impressive what you can pull off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
G'day guys, thanks very much for putting the show and everyone else that works at Penny Arcade for putting this on for us.
I'll let them know.
Thank you very much. Is there anything that you guys are particularly keen to check out this weekend? Anything that you're super excited about?
Yeah, so I'm like the Splinter Cell fanboy basically, and for the first time in the show floor here in the expo hall, they're showing the return of the Mercs versus Spies, like the multiplayer mode. So it's basically hide and seek with machine guns, right? And that's a very good thing to be. I made Brenna watch it for about a half an hour. She tried to be civil, but it was. I used to watch that. Like, I mean, I feel like I played it, but I actually only ever watched Mike and Robert play. There's a couple different modes, but there's a classic mode that is basically just 2v2. And the thing that makes it really interesting is that each side is completely different. Like, one side is playing from a first-person perspective, so peripheral vision and being able to be snuck up on, like, they have a very different, more terrifying experience than the spy that's basically playing a kind of platform game with knives. So, I don't know, I had a chance to look at it yesterday, and I'm gonna go check it out again. But I also had a good time at the, there's a big strip of indie stuff over at the ANZ Pavilion, and then right behind it is the PAX 10, and there's a bunch of cool stuff back there.
Cool. Thanks very much. Also, a small suggestion to Mike with making the comic here.
Oh, yes, this happens.
In rural parts of Australia, some people tend to wear like the big hats that you got Gay wearing in the first panel there. They wear them with corks coming off to keep the flies away. If you could...
So this is it's like a string that's on the front and it has a cork on it. It kind of swings, right?
It's just all around the hat, all around the brim of the hat. Yeah, go on there. So if you've got time
around the rim?
all around the brim of the hat, corks coming down to keep the
okay,
flies
so sort of
away.
like a fringe, but there's little corks at the end?
Yeah, pretty much.
How long are these strings?
They come down about eye level.
Come down about eye level.
And what's on the end?
Little cork balls?
Like corks as in you would get out of a wine bottle.
Like a little cork.
Yeah. That's excellent. Yeah, that's great. Thanks very much, guys. That's awesome.
Let it never be said that we don't make dreams come true.
And you've made mine come true today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Hi. I have a bit more of a serious question for you guys.
Yeah.
As a person who has suffered from depression, and like many people in this room, I'm sure, who have found solace in your particular works, particularly through, say, your openness about, in Mike's case, say, he's taking Lexapro.
Yeah, I am too, actually. I saw how human he became, and I said I wanted to get some of that.
Through your openness, I guess it's sort of helped a lot of us. Have you thought about, because of the size of your audience, the reach you have, and I guess the power you have with your audience, have you thought about doing anything to help people with, say, depression or mental illness, maybe through the Child's Play charity? Something that you could give back in that regard and use your experience to help those of us who really don't know how to get through it or where to go.
I think that when we sort of started out, like, it wasn't anything like a project. It seemed like the awareness aspect, just that people would know that it was true and that you can live with it, and you can get through it, and then you can inform your work. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was the first idea, was just to talk about it in general. But you're right. I think that I'll talk to Jamie when I see her over in the line. Like, there is probably something more elaborate we could do to talk about that. You're right.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
G'day guys, thanks a lot for coming out, and thanks in particular for coming to Melbourne. I think everyone in the room can agree that it's the city to come to. The beating cultural heart of Australia.
You don't want to do this, man. It got dangerous at the Q&A yesterday.
No, I know, I saw, that's why I had to revive it, to bring a bit on. Make sure you see AFL as well. It's the only sport in Australia worth checking out. So before I get lynched, my question is Red Tide was a great game, a lot of fun. Is there any plans to do any sort of expansions or follow-ups?
I'll tell Kiko. I mean, I think that we really wanted to make a card game about, ping pong being a global battle phenomenon. And then once we did that, then we started doing something else. But you mean like maybe a third faction or something like that?
You throw China in or something like that.
Yeah.
Especially doing Cold War.
Yeah, that was always the fantasy. The one thing I want to make a mod with Kiko where you can play doubles with the single decks that you have in there.
Yeah.
Just because I think it'd be fun. We could release that as a PDF, and then people could get twice as much fun out of the same box.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's let Kiko and I do that first, and we'll see if there's an uptick in interest. And then maybe we can try to put together a China deck.
Sounds perfect. Thanks, man. Cheers,
Thank
Jerry.
Good morning.
Hey there.
So I've stolen my sister's 3DS for the weekend, and I feel it's only appropriate if I return it with as many penises on it as possible. So, would you gift me a wang?
Give you a wang.
Gift me a wang.
How old is your sister?
Recently 18, so you're okay on that one.
Yeah, I'll draw a penis.
Fantastic. I might catch you after. I'll let you finish your work up there.
I got time.
No, is it on the? Is it on the? Is it? There we go. I thought maybe it was going to be like on the drop bear, because that would make this. That would make this middle panel even more terrifying. I know that I would be horrified by that prospect, especially the proximity to the eye. I'll let them manage the penis-oriented portion of the exhibition. Thanks. Go over here.
Yeah, g'day.
Hey
just thanks again for everything you've done. Been a massive fan for ages. But one of your recent projects, Thornwatch, I was just wondering how it's coming along and if you think it's going to be released anytime
you're
soon.
actually cosplaying in a Thornwatchian fashion. Very nice. That's totally gross. All right, it's got that coarse hair. All right. Hey, check out this Thornwatch cosplay over here.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean the game is playable, and I think it's pretty solid right now. I think our plan is to probably try to maybe go in with a company that's actually good at making games on a Kickstarter and get it out hopefully early next year would be my goal. I'll probably end up bringing it to PAX Prime and have it playable there. So I did take it to PAX East and played a couple games. People seem to like it. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah,
Thanks very
thank
much.
you. Thank you.
So I've been following you guys for a few years, like 2000, and
Thank
you release a lot of stuff on games and have introduced me through it. But I also know from your blog you're both really involved in your kids' lives. And the question is, how do you actually have time? Because I play games now like an hour a day if I stay up late because I look after my kids all the time and work.
Yeah.
I know that you don't. I know that this obviously takes more than an hour and a half. So how do you manage it?
Oh well, a lot of times sometimes there are these like dog shelters, and it's not actually known. It isn't up on the up and up. It's not on the menu, as they say. But if you pay double the dog rate, they will store your children in these vertical columns. And it is incredible. So if there's a game coming out that you really want to play, right? No. Part of it is that, we're definitely lucky in that we have a job that gives us an excuse sometimes to invest ourselves in a game during daylight hours. But generally speaking, I think that we're both just night owls, and so as soon as the kids are put to bed, we might be up until midnight or so, just trying to absorb that information. And you definitely have to find that time. But there's no question, you are not telling me anything I don't know. It's tough work, but it gets pretty fresh later because then they can play the games with you. Right? Obviously the specific game is important. Let's be careful. But eventually you can do that stuff yourself. You can play Minecraft. Like you can make a castle with your kids and it is banging.
And that's
super hot.
Because I do a lot of that with my eldest, but that means I'm playing Minecraft when I want to play.
Yeah.
Hotline Miami, maybe.
Just endure it. I mean, eventually they'll be a little bit older and you'll be able to play real video games.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you for the opportunity to come and see Australia because to get to my first PAX, I had to come to PAX Australia.
So you needed the barest hint of an excuse?
Well, a little bit. Yeah. Great country you guys have here. Loving what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
As successful as Strip Search was, for those of us that can't draw our way out of a wet paper bag, have you ever considered word search? It should only cost about 1/1000th.
Yeah. Budgets come down. Budgets come down in that context. I think that you and I would be the only fans. And we would know because every video would be like 2 views. And then I might watch it twice. But yeah, I'll pitch it to Robert.
Thanks. Thanks again.
Sure. Thanks.
Hi, how you going?
Good.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Firstly, I do condone children in cages, so yeah. My first question really is just on the Drop Bear theme.
Yes.
Is it too much to ask for you and your wonderful team to put together a special limited edition Drop Bear badge?
Ooh, a Drop Bear pin! God, how did we screw that up? Oh my God, why did we not think of that?
How did we screw that up?
Yeah, we're stupid. I apologize.
You know what though? But now we actually have a Drop Bear design that is in the art style, right? So there's some preliminary work that had to occur. But God, that's really dumb. Not your idea. I mean, we're dumb people.
Can I copyright that too?
Yes. Yes, expect your checks shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Just to make this the writing side of the room, I guess. I got a comment on yesterday. There was the one. How many of you? What you do is worth one of what I do.
Oh, sure.
I've got 2 ideas that perhaps invert that proposition.
Oh, yes. I'm all ears.
The first one is I hope you like text, which I've seen people wearing them.
Oh, the hoodie. Yeah, I guess that's true. It would actually be really hard to draw all of that together, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I could do it.
And the second one is my personal favorite, leads to my question, carrot cake soup.
Oh.
And
that's true.
Yeah, and I was wondering if carrot cake soup is now a regular part of your diet, as it is mine.
Are we nourished by
You introduced it to me, and it is amazing. And if anyone hasn't tried it, get it in you, because holy crap.
It's a game changer. I think it's a great form factor. It's portable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
changed my
icing. The icing on some pieces, but not others, is really what makes it.
Well, I'm glad to have provided such a long-lasting service to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
I really love the D&D podcast, as you said before. My question is more for Mike. Your son Gabe, is his RPG ever going to get published? Because I will give you money for that. A lot of money.
Actually, one of the Kickstarter goals in the DLC podcast was that Jerry, myself, and Scott Kurtz, I think, were going to sit down and play Lost Lands with Gabe as the Dungeon Master, and then record it as a podcast. So I think once we do that, the rules will be out there, and it wouldn't be too hard for you guys to use it for yourself. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm biased, but I brought Scott over to play it one time with Gabe, and he agreed, there's a couple things in there that, because he's 8, he doesn't know what he's supposed to do or what he's not supposed to do, that we looked at and were like, that's actually a really interesting mechanic. I wouldn't have done that. So I think it'll be an interesting podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The great thing about an 8-year-old is that as you're playing, he's constantly changing the rules. So you're like, well, he's like, this guy can jump over buildings. Well, I don't remember that. Well, he can do it now. And he can see in the dark, so you're not hiding.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi guys, thank you. Just wanted to also thank Mike for shouting our names out while walking around in the cold.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome.
But how long were you there?
4 hours. Yeah, there's a lot of setup involved, actually.
You wouldn't think, it just looks like find a field and...
Well, farmers are very hesitant to let you chase their ducks. That was actually, we probably called 6 or 7 farms. saying, hey, can we chase your ducks? And most of the time they just hang up. And then even then, once we got to this farm, these people were like super nervous. They waited out there, they watched the entire thing.
But tell them about their bathroom.
I asked if I could use their restroom inside their farmhouse, and she said, yeah, just be careful of the ducks. And I was like, okay. And I went in there, and I'm going to the bathroom, and I look to the right, and in the bathtub, it's full of hay and baby ducks. It's pretty cool, actually.
But I do have a quick question for Jerry. I teach primary school, and I have a lot of parents come to me often asking how do they regulate the amount of video games that the children play, and I feel really unqualified to answer that question because I'm so conflicted. I love video games.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, but I thought I would
tell me about it, man.
Ask the experts.
And generally speaking, I think that that having a set amount of screen time per day is sort of the accepted way to manage it.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
like the idea of screen time now doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what are they doing with that screen? Like,
see, this matters. Like a lot of the screen time stuff comes from like sitting and watching television or something like that, and that's not what kids today are doing with screens.
It's not what screens are for anymore. Like,
and also, you can't avoid screens. They're
Screens
everywhere.
are everywhere.
I've got 2 fucking screens right here. Sorry. You know what I mean? And then now your phone is a screen.
It's about content. And I think that, if I'm not going to let my son watch cartoons for 4 hours straight, but if he's building working machines in Minecraft, then I'm not going to tell him to stop. I think it completely depends on what they're doing. And the problem is that requires the parent to be engaged.
Right.
Sorry. Like, a lot of parents just don't want to do that. They want to use it as a babysitter. But I think that if you pay attention to what your kid is playing and what they're getting out of it, that's what you need to do. You can't just have something arbitrary like you have 30 minutes or you have 45 minutes. That's silly. Like, you actually have to look at what they're doing and find out what they're getting from it.
Thanks, guys.
So some friends and I noticed that the names of quite a few Penny Arcadians appeared in the playtest credits for the Iron Kingdoms role-playing game.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you could say a little bit about what your involvement there was, or what your characters were.
Oh, yes, I can do that. I can do that at length. So, Iron Kingdom's role-playing game is basically like the tabletop role-playing storytelling version of the War Machine war game.
Oh yeah, I'm right into all that stuff.
Oh yeah, this is for everybody else. And so they're local to us actually. Like they're from where we're from, and so they wanted to come and test out their current rule set, and just on people who were already fans, I think, of the other game. And so we played through an adventure, and it was pretty interesting. We had a lot of suggestions that disappeared. I don't know what happened there, but I had a haggard street preacher, sort of out of his own land, but obviously there's a revolver. I don't know. You don't want me to do this, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to be that person, but that should be sufficient to stoke your imagination.
I've actually seen T-shirts that say, "No, I don't want to hear about your D&D character."
Yeah. That would have been safe to wear. Who was your dude? Oh no, you just remade somebody from your army. The archer.
So long ago. Oh yeah, I played the archer.
Yeah.
Kiko had the sniper, which was pretty amazing. He played a Kadorian. Is that how you say it? Kadorian? Kadorian?
Yeah.
Are you just making that up?
Yes.
Okay. He played a sniper from Kador, who did not speak our language though, which is great for Kiko because he doesn't like to talk during these games, so he only spoke in Kadoran. And they had like a bird, like a raven, that would go out and find his targets for him. It was pretty cool.
It's a great world. I mean, they just did their War Machine Tactics thing. Like, any way I can get access to their world, I want to do it.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hey.
I just want to start out by saying I'm only actually here because the guy at the front said come in here. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. When I walked in and saw a drop there, I was a little bit confused.
I can understand. I can understand why.
This just informed my question a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to know, what did you have for breakfast this morning? sort of mix it up a bit, you know, just sort of, because everyone's like asking intelligent questions.
I had two pieces of toast with peanut butter and jelly.
Nice.
Yes, I know that I'm supposed to eat. I know that I'm supposed to eat Vegemite. That's what I had. Okay. So slathering the Vegemite. Yes, do it. So you mean like reach my hand in and then...
Does anybody have any right now on them?
Here, bring it. Come up here. Can I have it? Wait, hold on a second. This is a Vegemite sandwich?
Oh, wow.
Oh. I thought it was like an industrial lubricant.
No, wait, hold on, this is like your lunch. Oh, okay.
How many Vegemite sandwiches do you have? 4?
Look at it first. What does it look like? Peel it open.
There was a smell.
Let me smell it.
Guys, there's a smell on the sandwich. Here. All right, so just a bite, just like... Right, yeah, it's a trap, I know. I know what this is. So much bigger. Okay, so it kind of hangs around a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's an all-day thing. You just like eating all day.
So it's always releasing small bursts of energy during the day.
That's how I get
It keeps. Listen, you think that you've defeated it, but it will rise again. Like a savory feed. It's the richest source of vitamin D. It's a yeast slime.
Does anybody have any dairy milk candy?
It's better on toast. Okay. All right. Are you pleased?
Yes. I'm super appeased that I instigated your first taste of Vegemite. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's like a savory phoenix. Like it returns. This is blooming in my mouth. It's so bright. How can I help you?
I would have told you not to do that.
And I would have appreciated this knowledge.
I think it's split into like people who like Vegemite and people who have common sense. But anyway, my 2 questions are, sorry. How much money have you guys spent on League of Legends?
$8,000.
I knew you were going to say that.
To be honest, I will say that I spent hundreds of dollars before we really met them, and they gave me infinity money.
Okay, jealous.
It's pretty great.
My other question is...
No, actually, this is the weird thing, right? They gave you that sounds great.
Yeah, it's raining.
Sorry. They give you what happens when they give you the infinity money is that for me, like sort of working up through the levels and then, earning the IP and then doing my runes and stuff, like I really enjoyed that process. And then when they thought they were doing something nice, they actually ruined the game. Because when they break that, right, when they came in and they sort of broke the curve in half. And it's like I had a really good system. Like I thought the game was fine the way it was. I didn't need that extra incentive. And it actually turned out, I went away from the game after they did it. Like it was just weird.
Yeah, in fact, with Duel of the Champions, it's a great like online card game. I could have gotten Infinity money in that as well, and I decided not to. Like what I learned from that is that does break the game. It's weird.
There's something about that, something psychological. Like when you're not working for it anymore, like when there isn't something to strive for, like you seek out a challenge. You go somewhere else to find it.
My other question is, if you guys had to name the comic something other than Penny Arcade, what would you call it?
I didn't hear the question.
No, if we had to name the comic something other than Penny Arcade. Because I came up with Penny Arcade because he said that we needed a name for the comic, and so then I told him Penny Arcade, like with no delay. I probably should have thought about a name. Maybe that would have been cool.
I don't know what else you would call it.
Game Zone. I don't know, do you have any ideas?
No, that was your part of it.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the responsibility. The responsibility lies up here.
Right.
I'm here. I will think about it and then I will say it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
Oh God. What is that? This is Dairy Milk Marvelous Creations.
Open it up.
Yes. Peanut toffee cookie. So that sounds pretty good. Here, I'm gonna work on this.
Thank you and good morning. Do you still own your Dungeon Master's cowl or cape?
Yeah.
Yeah? Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brennan made it for me. It's all velvet.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's very sensual.
Excellent. On the topic of Dungeons and Dragons and similar role-playing games,
yeah.
What is the best way you've ever started a campaign and got your party together? And then, if it's not the same answer, what is the most ridiculous, absurd way you've ever put a party together? That is my question.
The best way we started a campaign?
The best way we started a campaign and the most ridiculous way we started a campaign. I started a campaign with them, so it was like a sub-adventure. Like, cause Mike had been DMing for like 2 solid years, and he needed a break. And so I made a sub-campaign that sort of took place in the same era, and sort of with the party that acted as foils for the rest of the campaign. And that campaign started out with sort of the announcement as like a crisis, like a in media res crisis thing. And I was prepared to end if they did not succeed in the initial challenge, I was prepared to throw the entire campaign in the garbage.
So after about half an hour?
Yeah. I was ready to do it. I was ready to just crumple the entire thing up and throw it away. And I made sure that they understood that too. And I think that willingness, that willingness to be that person inspired them to great heights. As far as ridiculous, well, we had that one with that goblin mafia.
Oh yeah, they were running a scam on the Lord of the Town.
Right, where they had invented like this mechanical dragon that was really not a great dragon. But if it's flying over your town, dropping acid on it, you are scared.
It was really just like paper mache full of goblins.
Yeah, it was more like a piñata. But that was we actually did that as a comedy adventure. We tried to, because for a while we thought that it'd be fun to try to like write adventures as like PDFs and try to like put them up on the site for fun. We never got back around to it, but it still seems like that would be a fun thing to set up.
That would be great.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is a really big moment for me. I've been a fan of yours since GameSpy was rehosting your stuff. Oh. They used to do that comics corner. I think the first one I ever read was the Sin Legacy one.
Oh yeah.
The Sin to install.
That's probably like 13 years old, man.
1.0.
yeah. Thank you very much.
That's good. It's been a pleasure. I have one minor note about the comic as well. I hope it's not too late. Our carnivorous marsupials actually have fully articulated thumbs. They're weirdly human, but like grey and furry. And obviously with a gigantic spike for gripping both trees and jugulars.
Oh, yeah, they have a thumb.
Oh, they have a thumb.
Yeah.
I can get a thumb in there.
All right,
sweet.
The thumb issue has been resolved.
Fingers or just thumb?
No, just like a big thumb.
Okay.
Well, 2 thumb. I'm being corrected.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll hand back my Australian citizenship. Jeez.
So we'll work on the thumb issue.
Little fingers too, I guess. So I hope this is okay. I've got two questions. One for me, one on behalf of my wife, who's currently in our hotel room, crashed out. She died yesterday in the...
That's really sad.
She's being raised by clerics as we speak.
You should tell the police.
We've got the clerics on it, man. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one is, I guess, when I was reading your comic, I was in year 7 at high school. That's like our first form of high school, our first year.
Oh, sure.
Junior, I guess you guys would...
Yeah, freshman?
Yeah. And I was sort of going back and forth between a lot of subcultures trying to fit in, and Penny Arcade was always the place that I would come back to. And there was a point that came where I knew that what I was a gamer first and everything else second.
Yeah, I hated being young, and so I'm glad to have provided some service to you.
Thank you. It's awesome. I don't even know what to say. So my question is, sort of following that up, I'm currently trying to do a run through Mega Man X on the Ouya, and I need to know if you think it's possible to beat Launcher Octopus with just the dash boots and the X Blaster.
I have no idea.
It's hard, man.
You're harder core than me.
It's my demon souls, man. It's killing me. And the question on behalf of my wife was actually for Koo, if he's here.
I can try to simulate Koo.
Okay, because we're in a garage games company, and there's so many resources out there now for programmers like myself.
Oh, do the two of you work together on games?
Yeah, with a few of our friends and stuff.
Rad.
We actually lost one. The Riot poached one of our programmers. He's going to work as they.
Well, they're here. You can go give them a what for.
Oh, I will. But there's plenty of resources to, even here at PAX, for getting people out of the garage and moving forward. My wife is a finance person. She's good with numbers. She's currently doing her CPA program and walking through it. Her limits are untested, except for surviving in the exhibition hall, of course.
Yeah.
So my Koo question was, how did he come to you guys? What was it that was driving him? How can she? Because her passion is basically what I think Koo's passion was, which is finding switched on, intelligent, capable, creative people and helping them turn their dream into a business.
It's actually
Something like that?
yeah. There we go.
2 thumbs on the same side?
Oh, that's right. No, I've seen a picture of these freaky hands. Yeah, it's totally. It's where it comes out at an angle and then comes in. It's gross.
You should probably just Google it.
What? Like another thumb down there?
Yeah, man.
Put it down.
Down.
Lower the wrist.
Like down there?
No, put it in.
Like a dew cloud. Here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
All right, here. We'll work on it. But the thing with Robert is that, that's true. He's incredibly smart. But he was actually a fan of.
I don't even know him.
He was a fan of Penny Arcade, and and so he wanted it to succeed, and so he sort of came into it being a fan. And so as long as she's invested, and I'm sure that she is, in the success of the thing, as long as there is a personal investment, along with the actual financial knowledge, which is what we were missing, that's the right person. That's the person that you want. They have to have some skin in the game, but they also have to know which numbers are which numbers. And that's the part that we were having a hard time with.
Thank you very much.
Good morning and welcome to Australia.
Yeah.
Sadly, not in Adelaide, but in Melbourne.
Oh, here, hold on a second. Kiko has a picture of their horrible hand. What, really? Yuck. Why would it look like that?
You have a special brand of Lovecraftian horror when it comes to
that is the hand that should not be. Ugh. Well, anyway, that's obviously disgusting. How can I help?
I have a couple of questions. The first one may sound a bit gushing. Basically, most of the people in here are pretty young. and they've been reading Penny Arcade as a weekly thing for most of their adult lives.
Sometimes I hear that, and it is scary.
You have a tremendous influence, and your discourse and your narrative has shaped and crystallized the opinions of millions of people around the world.
Yeah.
What is it like to be the voice of a generation?
No. That's not a thing. I mean, if we communicated anything, it's that it is possible to communicate, right? We started doing it, we entered the contest, right? And then we didn't win. But we weren't, the dialogue around games at that time didn't feel especially human. It didn't feel natural. It didn't feel like a dialogue at all, in fact. Right? There we go. And so we did it because we needed, just for whatever reason, we needed to hear that voice. And so I hope that what's communicated, don't take anything. I have a perspective, right? But it's very easy to communicate now. It is much easier now. There are many more venues and vectors of communication. And if you don't see your voice out there, you have to put it out there. Okay?
Okay, thanks. The second one's a bit more flippant and more of a statement. I've been asked to ask you to tell Chris Stroud that he still owes my friend Tristan a beer from Supernova.
From Supernova.
And that he doesn't care that he's at Comic-Con and on the other side of the world, we still want that goddamn beer.
Right?
That's pretty much the message.
Okay, I'll make that happen. I'll go back and get my phone. And
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's a total jerk, I totally get it.
I'll skip the obligatory thanks for coming to Australia, because you got to come to Australia, so it's not all hardship for you. I have a small request and a question. My friends that I came with, and no fewer than several dozen people that have bailed me up in the last 2 days, seem to think that you look like me. So this isn't cosplay, this is how I look. Okay?
That is amazing.
Are you available to do PAX Prime? Okay. How is your American accent? Okay.
They want you to take off your jacket.
Take off the jacket? But see, you have the awesome gray tuft. I can't touch your tuft game. Okay? That's right. The physique that drives the ladies wild, yeah, okay.
These two young girls, at my age young is early 20s, I've got D&D characters older than these girls, come running up to me, scream, "I love you," give me a big hug, had somebody else take our photo, and then we're off. The absolutely worst part was, I was on the phone with my wife at the time, and she said to me, "What the hell's going on at that PAX thing?"
I say use it, man.
What an incredible experience. Hey.
Firstly, it's such a big deal for me to be talking to you guys right now. It's pretty incredible for me, so thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. But a couple months ago, I started my own webcomic, and I just wanted to know, is there anything that you wish you knew when you first started webcomic that you know now? Or any kind of invaluable advice you could give me?
Oh man, I think the main thing is just to start, and you've done it. Now you just have to keep doing it. So even when you don't want to, right? Even when you come home from work and you don't want to do that, that's like the last thing you want to do, you still have to do it. Like you have to treat it like a job before it's a job, right?
It's my life.
There we go. You're all the way there.
Also, could you maybe just throw an idea at me and I'll put it into next week's strip that I'm going to do? Could you maybe just throw any word or topic and I'll put it in the strip?
I suspect you already know about Vegemite.
I am very familiar.
You probably had it
multiple times.
An operation to restore the foreskin.
It's done. It's done.
Get to work.
Also, I'm not saying you should, but if you find the free time, just Google Drunk Duck, Casey and Friends, and just have a look at the comic. It's no big deal.
Casey and Friends, hey listen, there's an option to buy. If you like what you see, all right, Casey and Friends Drunk Duck.
Cheers, thank you so much.
See you, man. Hey there.
Okay, so you've been in the webcomic running business ever since before the new millennium. So
I've been in the webcomic business prior to there being the word webcomic.
Yes, anyway, you obviously in your long history, I'm willing to guess that you've probably written and drawn, published one or two comics that nowadays you would probably, if you give them the choice, you'd probably not publish them. Anyway, my point is, have you published any comics that you now regret publishing?
No, because the deal about the line, right? So there is a line. Everybody's line is in a slightly different place, but there is a line, right? And sometimes you can't figure out where that line is until you go past it. And when we go past it, people let us know. So every time we have failed at discerning the line, we have learned where the line is. So it is absolutely vital that we have those fuck-ups, right? We need to have it, and then we need the communication afterward. So that's the story.
Alright, now do you mind if I leave early because my feet are killing me?
Absolutely, you have my leave.
As someone who's already passed the average Australian life expectancy of 20 years, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to go to a PAX. So my question is, have you ever worried that a video game character might be an actual sentient being? And how long in the future, if ever, do you think it might be that game companies, like developers, will need to worry about that?
Oh, you mean like you're playing a game and then something borderline mystical has occurred, and then these entities are genuine, like, psychologies?
Yes. Sentient beings.
I guess you would need a lot of RAM. I don't know. I did have. Did you ever play System Shock 2? No. Yeah. Remember like the matrons, right? The sort of robo-moms that are like tending the eggs. Yuck. I had a nervous breakdown, an actual nervous breakdown playing that game. And so I have a sense of what that might be like. And it's not something I look to reproduce anytime soon. It was a negative experience.
Right. But like, it's something game companies might have to worry about at some point. Like,
This is the type of science fiction hook that I love to think about when I'm in bed at night. Let's just think about it for a second together. Yeah. No, it's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ow, that's looking really good.
How much time do I have? How late does this panel go? It goes to 12:30 or 12? 12. Oh, I got plenty of time.
Yeah, you're killing it.
Hi, how you guys going?
Good.
I went and saw the Minecraft documentary last night, and I was quite struck.
This is Minecraft, the story of Mojang?
Yes.
Yeah, by two-player.
Yes, it's good. And I was quite struck by Mike being so proud of his son knowing the song from Portal. And it's actually a funny discussion my partner and I've had. If we ever have kids, you know, we're nerdy, we're going to raise them nerdy. We've always got that thing where kids rebel against their parents.
Yes.
You guys worried that one day your kids are going to turn to you and go, Dad, I hate video games, I want to play sports instead. Are you prepared for that?
Well, I mean, the thing that we've discovered, having two kids, you have the first one and you sort of think like, oh, this is the sort of person I make. And then you have the second one, you're like, where the hell did this thing come from? Like my first son, Gabe, is definitely a nerd. Like he was born a nerd. Nothing I did, I mean, he's just a nerd. My second son, Noah, will play football. Like he hits things and jumps off of things. Like it's not about rebelling, I think it's just them doing what comes naturally to them, right? Yeah, it's very interesting when you start making people.
Thank you.
Both of my other questions were stolen before, so what if Tycho was sunburned? Because Gabe has the hat, so he's fine.
That's right. He would be sunburned in the legit version of the strip.
Motorcycle helmet.
It's a little late for the motorcycle.
Motorcycle helmet. All right, it's good information. We'll put it into the file.
G'day, guys.
Hey there.
My question was sort of preempted a bit earlier, but I'll still go with it.
Yeah.
Could you comment on the rumour that Al from Acquisitions Incorporated was scared because Drop Bear spit acid?
Was what?
But he wants to know if AFL did not come to this nation because drop bears spit acid. That's a piece of information I had not heard about the spit. We'll look into it.
Okay, and just a second quick one. That first question was my son's. One of your controversial comics was the Dick Wolves.
Sure. That did happen.
I actually didn't think that was that controversial, and now whenever I find myself in that position where I've got to save 5 slaves, I always think of that. So just a bit of personal commentary. Like it really tears me up.
Glad to be of service.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Hi guys.
Hey there.
I'm a high school teacher and
No, we spoke last night at length.
Yes, absolutely. I really hope that you will read that book. But in terms of being parents, and I think being excellent role models as well for the gaming community in general, and taking on that role,
It's a cartoon.
I will judge you based on this answer. You are both now, responsible for other little human beings and their development.
It's larvae.
That's right. In terms of, where you see them, I would like to know which fictional characters you would like them to emulate when they grow up.
Oh, wow. What a question.
That's interesting. All right, well, obviously Ronya Quinn, we're going to go the Ada Lovelace route. But she's not fictional, she's real. And I want to emphasize that. Hey, kid. How you doing? Gosh, my son, I would like... Who is the guy that writes all those really awful books? And he doesn't even write them anymore. James Patterson.
Oh. I didn't want to he's rich?
He's really, really rich, yeah. Something like that.
So for Gabe, I think Ender. Pretty amazing. Yeah. I was Ender, yeah. And then for Noah, I guess I can't say Bean, that's not fair.
No, that's trouble. Flash Gordon.
Master Chief.
Thanks very much, guys.
So this is a question for both of you, because you've both got, I think, extensive experience with this. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Believe it or not, we have had this question previously. A horse-sized duck. See, no, you're the duck expert.
You chase ducks for 4 hours and all of a sudden you're an expert?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
I would rather go with the one horse-sized duck. I definitely got a little scared. There was probably only 30 of them.
Yeah.
But they move like a single entity, and when they all sort of look at you,
with their little duck eyes.
With their duck eyes, yeah, it's scary.
It's a good choice.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, what's up?
So I flew here all the way from Singapore.
Oh, thank you.
So it's a great show, great city, and I just want one quick question: you guys ever talked about bringing the show to Asia?
We haven't talked about it yet. Is Singapore the place?
Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia.
Any of those is fine for you?
I mean, the market is ready. We have lots of cosplay, everyone games.
It's true. It's true. I had okay. Now I'm fascinated. Let me talk to Robert. Like I know that we can do one more. I think that during the year there is room for one more PAX, like one more major PAX. I had not considered Singapore. That is really interesting to me. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Singapore. All right. I'm back.
Hey, Dom. Just on to some conspiracy theories. And I know you're not game mule, but there's 3 letters in PAX and there's 3 letters in Oz. So is Half-Life 3 confirmed?
Yeah.
It is?
Oh yeah, that was confirmed a long time ago. It's all the rumors are about Half-Life 4 now.
That was it.
Oh yeah. It's a pleasure.
Hey guys, going back to an earlier question, you said that you were most excited for trying out Splinter Cell Blacklist.
I was pretty impressed with the demo, yeah.
Yeah. I was curious, if you happen to have the time, would you be up for a 2 vs 2 challenge? Because I've got a mate who's been a big fan of Splinter Cell since Pandora Tomorrow, the Spy vs Merc, and pretty much around the same time you guys started making the comics about playing it.
Yeah.
So would you be up for a challenge later on in the day if you got the time?
Let's see.
We're actually pretty busy here.
Yeah, we have a lot. Yeah, we do stuff. That's true.
We always joke that someday we would like to attend PAX.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I will meet you at the booth. If nothing else, let's take a good long look at it, okay? I will meet you at that booth at 2 o'clock.
Done.
Okay?
Sweet.
All right.
Thanks very much.
All right, well,
have a date. What's up?
You've been sort of with the drop bears, but how do you feel about hoop snakes and cassowaries?
Hold on, what's the snake?
Hoop snakes.
Hoop snakes?
They're the fastest snake alive. What they do is they bite their own tail and roll at you. In fact, one of the ways to keep drop bears away is to tie a rope over your shoulder because they think you're being attacked by a hoop snake.
Australian trolling is an art form. Like, it is so deep and rich. We have something like a snipe. Have you heard of snipes? See, do you have snipes as well as the rest of this shit?
They were killed off long ago.
Yes. Yeah, I'll get a hoop snake first chance I get.
Excellent.
Hi.
Hey there.
I might not have the chance to ever talk with you guys again, so I wanted to let you know that I do have very significant mental illness, and Penny Arcade is one of the few places in the world where I could actually go and enjoy something and laugh. And on a much lighter note, my husband wanted to ask about Hufflepuff Puff Pass.
Oh, Hufflepuff Puff Pass. Okay, yeah, I do have a Harry Potter rap alter ego named Gil-galad, who is in House Hufflepuff, and I would like to release that album at some point. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
I think I talked about that like 6 years ago.
Yeah, we haven't heard a word since.
No, that project is currently on hold. But I talk with, so Chris Straub and I talk pretty much all the time, and there's about 10 albums we want to do, but each of the albums is really only one good song idea. So maybe we should just make one album that includes excerpts from the 10 albums we'll never make.
Yeah, the best of.
Maybe that's the best. Maybe that's it. Our first record will be the best of record. Okay, that's awesome. When I get back home, I'll talk to him.
G'day, my name's Bruce.
No, I'm kidding. So just before I ask my question, talking about terrifying Australian animals, we actually have 2 mammals that lay eggs in this country. 2? Yeah, an echidna and a platypus. And the platypus is also poisonous.
Oh no, I know all about his little sperm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I read about that shit.
We got all kinds here, it's fantastic.
Our favorite thing was we went to the zoo and I asked the lady, we were like, where is the platypus? We can't find it. And she says, well, it's in the platypusery.
We don't have that word.
No. I was like, oh, I didn't think to check the platypusery.
See, we don't need a place to keep them.
See, and I love the innuendos. We got a lot of those down under. And sorry, just one other thing. I'm kind of seeing the drop bear, and it reminds you a little bit of Predator. And you know how the Predator, he keeps his trophies like the spine and the skull hanging?
Oh, they're all in the ship, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of seeing room for like a Tycho spine and head hanging from the tree behind them in that third panel. Just throwing it out there. I hate telling other people on how to do their jobs.
Just the shadow,
yeah.
His gruesome trophy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But just quickly, like when you announced PAX Oz, there was that great picture you guys made of Gabe in the boardies and the boogie board running out to the surf, and Tycho just in the helmet and the gloves with the ice cream. Did you realise when you decided on Melbourne you're coming to one of our coldest cities at the coldest time of year, when you got beautiful Brisbane just up in the north? Mate, best beaches in the world, come on.
This is gonna be bloody, man. You're gonna have to run out of here.
Last time, let's see, 8 in a row, Queensland, that's our number right now in our big state competition, so all comers. Victorians, you just don't get it. Never mind.
Listen, man, run now.
No, but did you know that it was going to be this cold?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but this is normal. Like, everyone has said, listen, sometimes water falls out of the sky. We have that here. But I'm from Seattle. Like, I didn't even bring a coat yesterday.
So you have a break then. Come somewhere nice. No, I do love it. Sydney sucks.
Hi.
What's up?
Yeah, I created a web series on YouTube called The Most Pathetic Slasher Villain, and I'm asking you, do you often come with writer's block, and how do you come over it? Because I sometimes struggle to come up with ideas for my series.
I did not hear the question.
Sorry.
What's okay?
So I created a series called The Most Pathetic Slasher Villain on YouTube.
Oh.
And sometimes struggle to come up with ideas for my stories. So I'm asking you, do you often come up with a writer's block, and how do you come over it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. That happens pretty much all the time. And when it does, I let him write. And then after he gets done writing the script, he has to draw it too. So I just recline. Those are incredible days. Yeah. I mean, that's just normal. And for however it happened, our process just involves 2 people. I always wondered how Scott Kurtz was able to push so hard and keep that thing going for like 14 years now, more or less by himself. Chris Straub, I mean, it's just, I honestly don't know how they do it. I mean, my system is to have someone who I have a creative relationship with. And that doesn't work for every type of project, but it definitely is nice to have someone else be able to pick up the slack. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good day.
Hey there.
Being from Sydney, I just exercise a lot of respect.
Sydney does not suck. I want to establish that.
It has a happy medium. Brisbane's too hot, Melbourne's too cold.
Well, I'm going to Sydney next week, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll love it. So my question is, so you guys give back a lot to your community. You've created PAX, you've created many PAXs, you've got Child's Play, and you obviously incredibly passionate. How do you feel about people that also have webcomics, but basically use them as a money factory and a container for their own ego?
Is there anyone that uses it as a money factory? It's not a great money factory most of the time. I don't know that person. If you give me a name, I'll tell you if I like them or hate them.
Tim Buckley.
Oh, I hate that guy. Yeah, I don't think it's a money factory for him though. I would highly doubt that.
Well, I didn't know what else to call it.
Yeah, no, I don't like him.
Can you elaborate?
What's that? Elaborate?
Yeah.
I think what he does is a crime against cartoons. And he should probably go to art jail.
And quickly, have you tried Tim Tams yet?
I've done the Tim Tam Slam. No, I mean, like, you can stand, it's done now, right? You can stand up. Yeah, I have a chair, though. Okay.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I just want to say thank you. I don't know if I'll get another opportunity to talk to you guys. I make a webcomic with my wife about parenting.
Oh, wow.
And I saw, like, there's so many parents here.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have got, like, tons of parenting panels going on. So obviously that's influenced you guys.
I mean, the gaming
it's impossible
culture
for it not to.
Yeah, the gaming culture is growing up.
Yeah. I just want to tell all the guys who want to try and play a game with their kids. My daughter's 3, and we've just started playing her very first video game, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Play it with your kids. She loves it. Like, most of the time she's obsessed with the little things, like picking up pigs.
Sure.
Putting them in the mud.
Everybody's handling this lifestyle.
But it's the perfect vessel to introduce your kids into video games, seriously, so check it out.
And she doesn't care how long you sail.
No, she doesn't give a rat's.
That's fine.
No, she just
sail all day, sail for 4 hours.
Her hands are kind of too small to hold the controller, so she can sort of only hold the joystick to the left, and we just go around in circles. And
she's overjoyed.
She's happy. She thinks it's the best thing in the world. Yeah.
Nice. Good call.
And obviously, I was talking to Erica and Levin last night about. They asked me about my webcomic, and I just thought that was crazy. And they said that you shouldn't be ashamed of putting your art and your stuff out there. So I just want to say thank you to them really quickly.
They're cool.
Thanks, guys. Just a fun question. Jerry, if Mike was a supervillain, who would he be? And Mike, same question about Jerry.
Jerry would probably be the Riddler. Be my guess.
I thought I'd pick the same one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Krahulik as a villain, as a different villain.
You can't just say Mike would be gay.
No. Maybe Leatherface? It's sort of shapeless and moist. Is that good?
He does look very impressed.
No.
Thanks so much, guys. Mike, your spiel that you did on Reddit, the thing that says "Be too stupid to quit." I've got that printed out, hanging above my desk where I draw. So you guys
it's a good motto.
Yeah. Mega inspiration. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. I just want to say I completely agree with the Tim Buckley comment. I absolutely hate him, and he is the bane of all existence. So, thank you. I just wanted to say a question for both of you. In the finale of Strip Search, how hard was it to choose the winner? Like, what did you go through? What was the process? And do you still follow up the people today after?
It was incredibly difficult. I mean, what you saw in that episode is probably
was cut way down.
A quarter of the deliberation that happened. It was extremely hard. I think we made the right choice in the end.
And I doubt very seriously that Abby spends a lot of time worrying about it.
She could dry her eyes with her $100,000. No, I mean, I think that we made the right choice, but the reality is that we stay in touch with all of them constantly. Like, and not only that, but we're working with all of them constantly. Like, we've done jobs with Tavis, like Monica, Abby. Like, we've worked with all of them. It's just sort of like our go-to collection of artists now whenever we need something.
Because the reality is that it's sort of like a stable, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of things that we want to do creatively that we can't, like the physical act of drawing, he doesn't have the time to physically draw it. And so a lot of times we're routing work to that crew all the time.
Yeah, and I just also wanted to really quickly say that in high school I did a lot of drawing, but then when I finished, I stopped for a really long time. But then when I watched Strip Search, it really made me want to draw again on tablet, and it really inspired me. And I usually really hate reality shows because they're so hollow and pretentious and they don't really mean anything. But you guys were really down to earth, and I really liked how you sat down with them and talked to them. And it was like really inspiring, and I really liked it.
Thank you very much.
Godspeed.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi. So I'm a high school teacher and I use Penny Arcade a lot in my IT classes. For example, the greater internet dickwad theory I used with my year 11s to teach them about what not to do.
You ever talk about Nidhogger, the net serpent?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So my question is, as parents, how do you feel about games being used in education? So games in classrooms and stuff.
I think games are a really good way to teach people things.
Yeah, I think it's a necessity. I think going forward, you're just going to see more and more of it.
Nope. We used to see this a lot with Elliot. We would talk about some pretty, like, if he just sees a sheet full of math, he gets really intimidated really fast. That is not fun for him to just do, in the abstract, to do a huge pile of math. But if you tell him, as soon as it becomes a part of a narrative, as soon as it becomes a part of a story, his calculations just go like this. And I think a lot of it has to do with the structure of how we teach and how people learn. And we're not done learning how that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, I'd like to say thanks for bringing PAX to Australia. And I've got two questions. One, now that you've actually tried Vegemite, will you try and take some back and make others try?
I regret it.
No, don't stop it. I'm sure in customs of what this? No, not in America.
And my second question is, have either of you two heard of a webcomic created by Andrew Hussey called Homestuck?
Of course.
Yeah, I think everybody.
I think everyone has heard of Homestuck.
And what are your thoughts on it?
I think that I'm too old for Homestuck. I tried and I did not understand it. It definitely made me feel old.
It is incredibly deep. Comic-Con is a warren of Homestuck fandom. And they keep coming up and they want me to know which troll they are, and I don't. I can't tell which one is which. And I'm sorry.
Thank you. Enjoy seeing Australia.
G'day. I know the comic's mostly done, but I was at the Drop Bear pits last weekend, and they've got claws as long as your arm. It's really the most intimidating thing
Listen,
about it.
I think there's probably a lot of problems with my drop bear. It's as good as I could do. The double thumb thing is so gross.
But I got a quick question.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot recently there's kind of a move towards online multiplayer co-op games that really simulate old-style single-player RPGs. And I was just wondering, as RPG game masters and players, where do you think we can go, and what can we do with this 4 or 8 player co-op, and that really tells player-driven stories that have the same emotional meaning as you get from 18 hours sitting in front of a single-player RPG?
Well, that is a great question.
I think that you need to open it up to something more like D&D, where the stories that you can, it's more like a tool, right? Where the stories that you can tell with it are up to you and your friends. We did a comic strip about how the Wii U could be used in that way, right? Where a dungeon master would have access to the screen and the players are looking at the television with their sticks. Like, I think that's where it could absolutely go.
Yeah. So basically, the tool set is out here, and then one of the people who would have previously been one of the players is guiding an experience for their friends. I think that there's a lot of untapped potential in that.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Now that you guys are in Australia, have you taken the opportunity to try an Aussie meat pie?
No, we hear about a place called Pie Face.
Yeah.
But I have not had a meat pie yet.
No, my mother-in-law feasted on a meat pie. Just the other day, she went wild on it. I have yet to try one. Was it good? It seemed good.
Yeah, I would want to eat one while I'm here.
Yeah, cool.
I like meat, I like pie, yeah. Done.
Put the meat in there. I mean, why not?
Why not? Just a second question. You guys often do strips after a PAX event where someone has asked for a ridiculous sketching, and I think Nintendo DS Penis Man might have taken that crown. But do you still do the sketches? I collect original sketch art and I was sort of hoping...
Yeah, I think tomorrow we're doing a signing. Is that right? Yeah, I think tomorrow we're doing a signing, and if you come up to the table, I'll sign a book, do a little sketch. Yeah, that's easy.
Cool, awesome, thanks.
Yeah, no sweat.
How you doing?
Hey there.
Good to see you guys down here in Australia.
Yeah.
I'm a Nintendo fanboy here at heart since I was like 6 years old with the NES, and my favorite comic panel that you guys had was with Reggie at E3 talking about how he announced Mario and the new Zelda and Santa in the back giving out hand jobs. And with the gripe with old franchises coming back, such as a new Mario, new Zelda, and all that. All I really want is a new F-Zero game with heavy metal soundtrack. But yeah. And what do you guys want? What do you think should come next for Nintendo that would like completely blow your minds with the old franchises?
Wow. If they could make a game that unmade Metroid Other M, like if they could put out a box that just had a no disc in it that would actually destroy the other M discs on contact, that would be great. That's what I'm looking for.
They should have just made that as like a spiritual successor to...
There's a lot of problems. We can discuss it. What do you think?
I don't know. I think they're super savvy about what they bring back. I mean, I was over at their booth and I saw the new Zelda, right? That's incredibly exciting. I think F-Zero is really the only one, and we haven't seen that since GameCube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
All right, thanks. Enjoy your time in Melbourne.
Will do.
How you doing, guys? I just wanted to say hi to both you and my friends who couldn't make it today. We've got Alpha Stars up north, we've got Bacon Avenger who's over in America, everyone else left at the spawn who refused to come and visit me because of our spiders. I'm wondering if maybe you could possibly work one into the comic. I know you've got a limited amount of space. I know you've got small space, but we do have some small ones.
No, I've heard about the red backs and white tails.
And the Huntsman.
Now,
the Huntsman's the big one, right?
The Huntsman's are.
The Huntsman is the big one with the sword, right?
Those guys are the scary ones. Completely harmless, trust me. They don't actually hurt you, but they are big, fucking scary ones.
Understood. Understood. Yeah, I feel like there's a spider situation we can manage right now.
Awesome.
All right, now it's an Australian comic.
I am very impressed with the drop there. That is very good work.
Red back. Oh, little red stripe on his back.
Yeah, he needs a red stripe.
Whoop. Problem solved.
Thank you very much, guys.
Pleasure. Sir.
Hey guys, welcome to Melbourne, city of 4 seasons in one day. I'm sure you're aware that the Steam sale is going on right now, and one of the games I picked up was Poker Night at the Inventory. And I've never loved... Yeah, the first one. I've never loved or hated a character as much as Tycho, because he's clearly the most cunning guy in the game. He's always going to be there at the end. And I just wanted to ask, do you think Tycho and the Heavy could be best friends?
They certainly could be. I had a really good time writing that with that crew. Like, I would love to work with Telltale on something more elaborate if I could. I mean, I just wrapped up Precipice. I feel like I want to send them that fan mail that is just sort of like, hey, you guys seem really cool. If you're ever in town, maybe I can show you around. Hey, listen, I got some great ideas for some games. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to happen.
Do you think Tycho would win the game, like the tournament?
He certainly could. I mean, he's definitely the gamer out of that group, right?
Yeah, possible.
Yeah.
Cool. Enjoy your time here.
Pleasure.
Hey.
Hey there.
So while we're doing interstate rivalry, WA represent? Yes! not deafening silence.
I just learned that means Western Australia.
Yeah, we get mixed up with you a lot. It's very confusing on the postal forms because there's a WA in the drop down and then you get sent to Washington.
Washington,
Yeah,
which is also
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington's fine too. So my question is about your panel, your strip you did a couple weeks ago about Microsoft's announcement. Does it ever get awkward for you making something about Microsoft's announcement and then having basically a rerun of that announcement in a couple hours of time in this exact theater? Like, does that cause problems for you at all?
I think it probably gets weird for the business guys. There are definitely times where they'll see a comic and just sigh, because they know how much harder we've made their job.
But as far as Microsoft, like I don't think there's anybody over there that doesn't know they have a serious problem too. They might want it to be mad, but they can't deny that they've got serious trouble. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure we're not going to get in too much hot water for that.
Yeah. Well, you might not be able to guarantee that there aren't deadly creatures this time around. That's all.
That's true.
It's true. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Gordon?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Great.
I saw you talking radiant.
Nice work on the resonance cascade.
Thank you. I know I'm not supposed to be talking, but I'm out of character right now, so. Sort of a question, I guess it's for both of you, but I actually represent a group of people who aren't particularly good at video games. Not for lack of trying, mind you, just it sort of happens that way. Is there a particular game, I mean, for both of you, that you really want to enjoy it, but you're just not mechanically able to do it justice? You're just bad.
Oh yeah, tons.
The Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, hey, that's
the new one. Like I have played that game for probably 20 hours, and I just played the first chapter again and again. I just start over. I have no idea what happens in that game. I just start over, and I am so good at that first part. And every time I think I'm going to creep a little bit past it, it's just bam. No, it punishes you bad.
You just say, I really like the first 20 minutes of that game.
Yeah, I put it to work. I mean, I certainly got my money's worth.
I would like to be good at fighting games. Like any fighting game would be fine. But I never get past the sort of button mashing antics. I would also really like to be good at Rock Band. I have absolutely no way of getting past easy. I can't play on anything higher. As soon as they get to that orange button, I'm just lost.
You're still waiting for Photoshop Hero.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the double thumb, right?
It is, yeah.
I did actually have one final thing. There was somebody whispering sweet nothings in my ear about a hot dog fairy. Dare I bring that up?
I forgot.
Oh, things are happening.
Another local fauna, presumably, somewhere in the bush, there's a hot
I'm
dog
from
fairy.
Tasmania. We got entirely different things down there.
Okay.
Tasmania represent.
All right.
I can hear about 4 people.
Hot dog fairy activated.
This is a great moment.
You were a part of it.
I helped make this happen.
That's right.
Like the resonance cascade.
That's right. Thanks, man.
That is a beautiful hot dog fairy.
It's world class.
First of all, I just want to comment that I sympathise with your plight when I was reading one of your articles just recently about the flight over here from America.
Yeah.
I recently made it myself.
It's novel.
Yeah, it's an endurance check. I actually was coming back. I've just returned from my honeymoon where we were over there for a month, and part of this marriage, I've actually taken on a small child, my own larva, a step larva, if you will. She's 5 years old and fantastic in so many ways. As a responsible parent, I want to, corrupt and encourage her into my world, something that her mother mightn't be terribly okay with, but it's a back and forth thing. I just want to know if you had any tips to maybe how I can bring her into the fold.
I don't think that you're going to have to manipulate a young person into playing video games very much.
I'd also like to get her into...
just leave them around the house. Leave an open DS here on the coffee table.
Maybe a D20 there.
Exactly, buy some character sheets, some figurines.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing over here? You enter a dark dungeon. Trust me.
Thanks very much,
You're
guys.
going to be okay, man.
Excellent.
Sir.
I'm gonna get thumped when I get back to the US, but if PAX East is the bitch PAX, and Seattle is PAX Prime, what is this?
Oh no, I hadn't even considered this. And you've heard all the aggression just about their own country.
This is the PAX with the cool accent.
That's right. The PAXent, thank you. By a second, you beat me. By a second.
So, wordsmithing wise, when you refer to multiple PAX, is it PAXes, PAXi, PAXa?
I like PAXi with the 2 I's.
Is it 2 I's?
Yeah.
Cool. We typically use PAX to get a group of working professionals together, kind of step out of our lives, go enjoy places.
Yeah.
Best PAX so far. Really great here in Australia. Wonderful country.
Yeah, they're great.
They're wonderful. And thank you for PAX. It's always great.
All right, the final question. This better be great.
I've been reading PAX.
Oh, get your mouth right by the device.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been reading PAX since I was 8 years old. It was actually my first website ever.
First website?
Yeah. We didn't get a computer till that
Jeez,
old.
thanks.
But have you guys ever been to an Australian game store?
You actually just went to an EB.
Yeah, my DS charger didn't work here, so I took a taxi to an EB downtown, and I thought I might buy a video game, and then I saw that it was $100. And that was ridiculous.
You are a long-suffering people.
I grew up with America not being the land of the free and the brave, but the land of the $50 game. It's all about fantasy for me.
So I have a question though. So if you want to buy a game like for the DS and you go into the store and it's how much for a DS game? $80. If you buy the same game on the Nintendo eStore, is it way cheaper? Oh, it's still 80?
No, it's that cartel thing, right? It's like
That doesn't make any sense.
Australia tax. This is a term you recognize.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, well, God, I don't even know how to think about miniature war games.
Whoa. Thank you for your question.
All right. Thank you very much for attending the panel.